Hi everybody, my name is Andy Chan and I'm an RCIC. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you're this channel is really meant for other immigration practitioners, but if you're looking for assistance to immigrate to Canada, just hear me out a quick second. I've got an affiliate code with a company called the Canadian Immigration Institute, and uh, what this organization does is a little unique, and I was actually using them as a study aid for myself when I was studying for my RCIC. Is and in that because you are a looking if you are looking for economic pathways to immigrate to Canada, there's a pretty good chance that your English capability or active French capability is already very high. Uh, so, with that in mind, what Mark Holthe has done is he's instead of you going to him for a uh, one-on-one assessment and having him help you one-on-one, which I think he does very well actually. He's also got a set of courses which much lower in cost and is more of like a hands-on approach for you to submit your own paperwork. Um, I was following his channel, his YouTube channel. He's very patient, very thorough. I was using his YouTube channel as a study guide for myself because when I was studying for my RCIC, it was we were just shown the various different programs, but what he's but because of his knowledge and background, he can connect all the dots, and in his YouTube channel. Uh, do go on there. He's incredibly patient, very knowledgeable, and he connect all the dots for you. So when I was studying, I found that to be very helpful for me too. So I do highly recommend his company. And again, I set up an affiliate code from my YouTube channel, and I guess I'll be setting up for my other websites too, pointing to his courses. So if you are interested, I highly recommend that. Or you can approach Mark to have a one-on-one consultation, and actually I'm setting myself up to do the same. So, anyways, sorry for that. I rambled on. It's already been 2 minutes, but anyways, back to what this particular watch list does. A couple of years ago, I created a spreadsheet model to calculate various scoring for Canadian economic immigration, because I found that a lot of the programs they're interrelated, so that if you have one spreadsheet, one data entry point, you can calculate your scoring and your qualifications for the federal programs and the provincial programs. So it's March 29th right now. So with that model, what I've done is this is the third version of the model. What I've done is I've in one spreadsheet for one data entry, it calculates the Canadian Experience Class, Federal Skilled Worker, Federal Skilled Trade, the CRS score, the BC SIRS score, the two Manitoba scores as skilled worker overseas, and the expression of interest, I think. And now I've just wrapping up Ontario. When I first brought in Ontario into this latest version, I was only going to be doing 6 streams, but I sat down and I realized, well, I might as well just do the whole thing. Well, all the economic streams. So in other words, here's the ONIP page. There's 8 streams on here, and what the Excel spreadsheet does is it's got a little report for each one of these 8. So, and the whole idea is, uh, because it's meant for practitioners, you can have one data entry point, but have the have the spreadsheet be able to generate all of your different reports for you, so you can have one consistent and easy way to have a summary, I guess, a summary report for that particular stream for your submission package. So I was hoping to use that for myself after I filled everything out, and I realized I haven't seen anything like that out there on the market. So I figured, well, it'd be a good way for me to validate my own work, and actually, if I provide for free, I thought maybe it could help some of the other practitioners out there. So anyways, in this particular video, I just wanted to summarize everything I've done and then quickly go over the additional two streams I just put in. And that is let me scroll down here. I originally wasn't planning on doing the master's and the PhD stream, but because it was just the scoring factors. But I realized, well, this particular scoring factors is a little different, all the calculations are already there. It's just literally copying formulas and moving them into one particular spot. So that's what I've done. So again, I've got a little report for every single one of these eight streams. So I just wanted to go over really quickly what I've done so far and what makes these streams a little different. So, for example, let me just scroll down here. So this is the ONI IP page. So what my model does is this. And well, I'll show you in a second. I also sorted the reports based on this, matching this order of the web page too. Oh, okay. So, for example, the foreign worker and the international student and the in-demand skills, they all have a separate scoring factor page as well as other requirements. The scoring factors there are a little different because uh, the international student scoring factor is 110. When you look at it, it does the same calculation, but it includes all the various calculations based on a numeric value. Whereas so this is out of 110, and this one's out of 50, and then these two down here are out of 60. When you look at the page, well, actually, why don't we just click into one of them, international student, because I'm kind of rambling now. But this scoring factor, if you scroll down here, is out of 110. So it's these scoring factors here. Whereas in-demand skills, it's out of 50. So way down here, sort of making you dizzy. So here's the scoring factors, and it's out of 50. So each one is a little different. And then the masters and PhD, these are out of 60. When you look at it, the calculations are actually really straightforward because the model already does it. But it's just a matter of whether or not certain calculations are included in that 110, 50, or 60 scoring. Okay, and then the other thing I wanted to mention, let me just go back up here, is that obviously these three are requiring a job offer. What the model does, and hopefully you've seen some of my other videos, is that it calculates the qualifications of the applicant, meaning there's a data entry for the applicant's birth date, work experience, education history, and language scoring. So what it doesn't really capture are the various factors for the job offer, and whether or not the employer meets the qualifications, and those kind of things. So just the model is limited in particular to what the applicant's scoring is, because again it's based on based on whether the applicant meets the qualifications or not versus the employer. Okay, so so this is the whole page. So just going through my notes here. So I think, why don't I just go into the model itself now? So again, there's 8 streams that the spreadsheet is covering. Uh, and I've sorted them in the same order uh, as what you see on the web page. Okay, so let me just hop over there now. So here's the spreadsheet model. Before I get started, just to summarize everything, just want to mention something. Um, Someone who's been helping me validate has been he's been incredibly kind with his time. He mentioned that when he downloaded off of Google Drive, it was giving him his weird error message, and I didn't think much of it until, but I realized I was getting it periodically too. So I had to Google the answer, and it was like an weird internal flaw with saving sorted records through code, which I've done. So I had to put in an extra line of code, and actually, just a quick second. I've been keeping on this tab called changelog all the various changes. So yeah, again, it's almost April now, but I've been tracking what all the various changes. So this file again is free to download. There's a link in the video description. Do try to get the latest one. If you do start modifying the file on your own, you'll have to merge whatever changes you've made to my recent file, because obviously some if you look at some of the formulas, some are relative references and some are absolute references. If you change the name of the tabs, it get anyways, so you'll just have to be a little careful of that. Okay, so but again, yeah, this is the last edit that I made for this file. I'll probably park this one for now, and I will probably rename this file because I want to use this file for validation for something else. So the next thing I'll be doing is I'll be adding Alberta. And just to re-emphasize, if you new to my channel, this file shows Ontario, which has all 8 streams. And again, formatting, if you use this for your own practice, you'll definitely want to clean up some of the formatting. Change the font to what your company does, or what you want your company does. But my main focus is trying to keep the formulas as accurate as possible. But if you right click on unhide, you see the other tabs there. So this file is a continuation of the third version that I started. So this file does have the BC PNP and the 2 Manitoba scoring. All you have to do is unhide it, and the federal scoring is inside the reports tab, and this has the CRS score, Canadian experience class and federal skilled worker and federal skilled trade. All right, so let me just show you the file, the Ontario tab. Again, I reorganized the reports to the same ordering as the web page. So the first thing is the job offer, the foreign worker stream out of 50 points. I don't ask for the salary requirement, except as a requirement, but except for the scoring or the settlement funds and the various employer requirements. So this is scoring factor for in-demand stream. The gray cells are eventually they'll be locked down, but the gray cells are the formulas, and the yellow cells and the yellow tabs are the data entry for it. Okay, so this is the ordering. The second one is the ONIP International Student, which is the second one on the web page. Okay, and it's mainly the scoring factors for most of these. This one's out of 110. The next one is the in-demand stream with Knox C and D coding, uh, Knox C and D jobs, and they have a defined list. Just scrolling down, and then the next one is the PhD and Masters. On that web page, you'll notice that they have the same scoring factor, and only the Masters has a defined language requirement. Again, when you use this for your own practice, and you probably want to clean up some formatting, because obviously this cell is a little too wide for this particular data, but it's accommodating something else. So you can play around with that. And then let's see. Uh, oh yeah, I forgot to mention the other thing that the masters and the PhD um, streams do not uh, do not prompt for is the school, because on the web page there's a defined listing of schools that your applicant has to have attended. So you can follow these links back to the web page. I just copied the links directly on the sheet. Yes, that's the other thing that I did not include. Okay, and here's the scoring factors for these two streams, and it's out of 60. And then down on the bottom is the human capital priorities stream. I incorporated the tech draws, because the tech draws are built-in part of this stream. This is the one area, I think it was just my last video, where I made an exception to the rule. I tried to keep all the data entry in these two tabs, but I'm putting data entry for the actual knock codes, so that you can add or drop various knocks from this report as you see fit. Because when I first did this particular stream a couple years ago, the list was a little different. It included a few more items. So I thought, well, it would be nice to make this particular one a little more flexible. Below that is the language scoring, and then finally the skilled trades. And the skilled trades for Ontario is not the same knock codes as the federal skilled trade of the federal program. Do look at that video where I just described where they're different. And then the federal skilled worker. So I'm just scrolling through. The federal skilled worker, again, to calculate the continuous work, because continuous work, here's the grid for continuous work, where for continuous work where you can have 2 rows of data of work history. What the button does is try to see if there's a gap in time between one row to another, and if there is no gap, then it has a running total of the number of hours. So that's why there's a button there. That's the only way I could figure out how to calculate that as a running total. The other thing is for federal skilled worker in Ontario, it's specifically stated that part-time work must be greater than or equal to 15 hours, which is different from the federal program. And the other difference is that the work has to be within the last 5 years, whereas the federal programs we're counting from the last 10. So there's a difference in that calculation too. So anyways, yeah, there's a previous video that covers that. So I think I'm pretty much done. Yeah, so that's the end of the file. So again, the latest changes last little while were I added Ontario Masters and PhD. I made a tweak. I realized I had a error in one of the other reports. I accidentally copied one of the formulas. I left a question for myself. The education categories for Ontario, for especially the Ontario Masters and PhD, could be a little different, and you may get some erroneous results because I'm using the categories from the federal programs. It may not quite match what Ontario is doing, especially when Ontario is allocating for the scoring factors for two diplomas. Do have a look at that. Um, if you do need to tweak that, what how the formulas work is I've got a lookup table with the categories for the federal categories, and on the end here I've got the lookup values for the Ontario international student. So the scoring is based on my interpretation of what the scoring factor indicates. So two credentials I assign to 8 points, and a 3-year credential is 5, plus a 2-year credential, which could be wrong. So, but again, that's where you would change it. Okay. So I think that's pretty much it for the summary. So I'll go to the slide deck and just to reiterate everything and wrap this video up. So yeah, before I just summarize everything, just wanted to thank the people that have been helping me validate this file because I'll be honest with you, a lot of practitioners, they focus on their particular practice. There's focus on either federal programs plus their own province. And when I created this, I really wanted a tool where if you if I were to advise somebody, I wanted to present as many options as possible. And there's a few immigration practitioners who saw the need for something like that and were willing to help me out, and they've been providing me a lot of feedback. So it's really wonderful. So really wanted to thank them. And so just to wrap everything up now for Ontario, let me just go back up to the top. So, in summary, I've basically done all 8 streams in Ontario. When I first started creating the Ontario videos, I mentioned I was only planning on doing 6 of them. Well, I've got all 8, and I've resorted everything based on the order of the web page. So the first 3 streams with a job offer, again, I'm not looking at the job offer requirements, except for the salary of the job offer because there's scoring involved in the scoring factor. I don't look at the employer requirements or the settlement funds. The 2 streams for master's and PhD, what Ontario does is they have a defined list of schools that they will accept as entry to these 2 streams. The model will prompt for whether the education is in Ontario or not, versus one of the other provinces, because that is common for some of the other provincial programs. They will give you a scoring if you're, say, studied in Manitoba. So that's where there's a prompt for that, but I don't have a prompt for the actual school in Ontario. The next thing is I just wanted to reiterate my interpretation of the education scoring for Ontario could be a little off because I'm using the criteria from the federal program. So do have a look at that, and if you need to tweak it, I just showed where that is. The human capital priorities, just to re-emphasize again, in Ontario, federal skilled worker, part-time is only counted if the number of work hours is greater than or equal to 15 hours per week. That's been corrected through the model now. That's another thing I wasn't planning on doing, but I've made that correction through the macro and the individual formulas. Federal skilled worker is also only counted in 10 years in Canada, but only 5 in Ontario. Human capital priorities. I combine the tech draw list within that particular stream uh, for the reporting. So I guess really it's supposed to eight. You could say there's nine in here, but there's eight on the main web page. Uh, just to reemphasize again how the model works, the data entry are in the yellow cells, formulas are in the gray cells. Do watch my past videos and just as an explanation how that works. Um, there's a grid for the work experience. Off to the right are the formulas that calculates the number of hours by individual durations. So, for example, there's one column that summarizes uh, from the start date from the start date up. Sorry, yeah, from the start date up until two years ago, like how many hours? So 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, and 10 years, because each immigration stream has their own unique criteria. That's how I was able to, I think, accurately calculate the number of hours based on one row of data, but different time frames or different durations. If you work on the and how to calculate continuous work, if you work two jobs, what I try to do is I try to look for any time gaps, and if there isn't, and there's the same dot code, I keep a running total to do a visual skill worker continuous work calculation, and that's driven by a macro, which you have to click, and you have to click the button. I've cloned this button a few places now. So, anyways, that's basically what I did cover for the summary. So, thank you so much for watching. There's a link to the file in the description of the video. I'm probably gonna stop making videos for a little while. Again, this is the third version. I do this as almost like a passion project actually. I'm probably gonna stop for a while. When I have time, I'll incorporate Alberta next, and then yeah, well, I guess I'll be seeing you then. Thank you very much. Take care. I'll see you all soon.